There's Still Tomorrow, the new film that has just passed Greta Gerwig's Barbie to become the most-watched movie in Italy this year, opens on a domestic scene. Delia, played by actress-turned-director Paola Cortellesi, wakes up next to her husband, Ivano Valerio Mastandrea. "Buongiorno," she says, brightly. Without a word, he slaps her hard. Then, as the soundtrack swells with a 40s romantic tune, Delia gets up to start her day. Violent abuse, it appears, is as much a part of her routine as brushing her hair and getting dressed for work. It's a shocking scene. At first, it looks like There's Still Tomorrow, shot in stark black and white, will be a tribute to Italian neo-realist classics like Bicycle Thieves and Rome Open City. But this is no kitchen sink social drama. First come the one-liners. All the problems started when people stopped marrying their cousins. Ivano's father-in-law complains to Delia, "My wife lived like a queen." Delia reminds him she killed herself by jumping from the 5th floor. And rightly so, she adds, "Riley, as a child, I remember the stories my grandma and great-grandma would tell me about other women who lived in the same courtyard in their neighborhood, women like Delia who would be subjected to violence. Maybe be beaten up by their husbands or relatives," says Cortellesi. "What shocked me was how this tragic thing was considered to be normal. For these women, it was daily life. But they always tell these stories with a touch of irony, of humor. It's a Roman thing, we people from Rome. Even when we talk about the most tragic events, we tend to tell them with a smile and a joke." As Delia leaves her home, the screen, till then tightly cramped in the 4:3 aspect ratio typical for neo-realist movies, expands to a widescreen 16:9. The 40s soundtrack gives way to the rocking beat of 1998's Calvin by the John Spencer Blues Explosion. This is a contemporary movie. It's set in the past, but it's about the female condition, says Cortellesi, and the roots of this patriarchal culture go deep. They are rooted in the past, but they are still very present today. The film has certainly struck a chord. There's Still Tomorrow is a runaway box office hit, grossing more than €30.5 million, $33.4 million, to date, making it the second most successful film of the year in Italy, just behind Greta Gerwig's pink-themed blockbuster Barbie at €32 million. Ranked by admissions, There's Still Tomorrow is actually number one, with 4.49 million tickets sold to Barbie's 4.39 million. Cortellesi's film is already the 6th most successful Italian movie of all time and, by the end of its run, will leapfrog Roberto Benigni's Life is Beautiful, 1997, another period film that mixed comedy with serious drama, to take the overall number 5 spot. There's Still Tomorrow has also rekindled discussions about domestic violence, femicide, and women's rights in Italy, debates that dominated public discourse since the shocking kidnapping and murder last month of the 22-year-old student, Giulia Cecchettin, and the arrest of her boyfriend for the crime. I've been attending screenings, introducing the film, and talking about it with the audiences afterward, and people come to me and they share their stories of violence, of abuse, or just discrimination, unfair treatment, says Cortellesi. There's this wish and desire to discuss a subject that was just there waiting to be talked about. This movie kind of triggered the debate. On November 25th, the film was shown in the Italian Senate to mark the United Nations International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. There have been screenings for school children across the country. To date, around 300,000 high school students have gone to see the film, says Andrea Scrosati, Group COO and CEO, Continental Europe at Fremantle, the media group which owns Wildside, the Italian producer of There's Still Tomorrow. Schools are using it as a way to discuss domestic violence and female empowerment.